My name is Yale Makagan, and I work for an organization called Natural Justice. Our headquarters are in Cape Town, and we have small teams based in a number of other countries: Kenya, India, Benin, Kota Kinabalu, and the US, which is where I work. I'm based in New York. Natural Justice works with communities all over the world on a variety of different community empowerment issues, generally working to help communities and support communities address various challenges that they face. One of the tools that we use as an organization to support communities in the community empowerment process is called community protocols. This is a way to provide communities with a framework to come together to define their own priorities for development, to provide information to external parties about issues that are important to the community, and to express their priorities for how external parties should interact with them on a variety of different issues. Could be trying to obtain access to protected areas, entering into access and benefit sharing agreements, or in the case of the project that I'm currently managing, addressing impacts from extractive industries and infrastructure projects. Natural Justice has for several years been working with many different communities to develop community protocols. And although we had worked with communities in a variety of different contexts, we did not have much experience when it came to using community protocols in the context of extractive industries. And in order to try to understand better whether protocols would be useful in the context of extractive industries, we have started on a project back in 2013, supported by the Heinrich Böll Foundation and a number of community partners in different countries, to address several questions with regard to the usefulness of community protocols in that context. Those countries are Kenya, Zimbabwe, Argentina, and India. Each of these communities is facing a different type of challenge. In Argentina, the issue is lithium mining. In Kenya, it's a port project that's being built in order to facilitate the transfer of oil from other parts of the country to export it, as well as a large coal plant. In India, there are a variety of different types of extractive activities. Iron ore mining is a very common one. And in Zimbabwe, the challenge is from diamond mining. So over the last 2 to 3 years, Natural Justice has been working with community partners in these countries, monitoring the development of community protocols by these different communities to address the challenges that they face. So as part of the project, each of the different communities are dealing with a wide variety of different contexts, and they've all had many different experiences. One of the challenges when it comes to working with community protocols is identifying who exactly the community is going to be that participates in developing and working toward the eventual output of a community protocol. Each community is dealing with its own challenges, its own unique contexts. In Zimbabwe, the challenge has been diamond mining, and the community was in a situation where the government and mining companies were implementing these projects, diamond mining projects, without any consultation with the community members. Community members were being relocated, extractive activities were taking place, and communities did not have a voice in the process. So through the development of the protocol, the community has had an opportunity to define its development priorities. Specifically, they have identified that land issues are critical, as well as environmental degradation. And this has allowed them to communicate with the government and articulate specific needs and interests that the community has with regard to the extraction of diamonds from this area in Zimbabwe. In Argentina, it's a much different context. There, the community is dealing with lithium mining concessions that the government has granted without any consultation with the communities in question. And what the protocol process has done in Argentina is allowed the communities there to meet and specifically identify what external parties such as the government and companies need to do in order to obtain the consent of communities to make decisions that have an impact on community members. So in Argentina, they have actually developed a document. It sets forth very clearly what the requirements are for consent. It actually links the consent process to the traditional ways that the communities in Argentina live. Part of their livelihood is based on salt extraction, and so the process of obtaining consent is linked to the way that the community actually lives and the livelihood that they depend on. So these are just two examples of the communities that we have been working with. Both Kenya and India have also had good experiences with the process. It's important to note that there are challenges involved as well. It's not a magic solution to every issue that the community faces, but what we have seen over the last 3 years is that it provides a space for communities to come together, to discuss their issues, to identify priorities, and to start the process of addressing some of the major challenges that they face in regard to extractive industries. What's important to note when it comes to community protocols is that it's really up to the community to identify what they will address and who's going to be included in their development. As an organization, Natural Justice believes that the protocol process is one that inherently means that it is participatory and inclusive of all members of the community that are impacted by an issue that the protocol is trying to address. So that, of course, includes women, youth, the disabled, and other groups within the community, to provide them a space to participate in the development of the process, and also identify their own priorities and make sure that they're included in the vision that the community eventually agrees on with regard to the outcome of the process. So throughout this process, the entire project has been supported by the Heinrich Böll Foundation. They have also provided support at the local level for communities to actually engage in this process, to have meetings. And now, in April 2016, we are all meeting here at the Heinrich Böll Foundation headquarters in Berlin to bring the community partners together in order to share their experiences, address the challenges that they have faced and some of the gains that they have made, and also to share the outcomes of the project with other practitioners in the field and people who are interested in extractive industries in general, and how communities might be able to respond to the challenges that extractive industries pose. So we've been meeting in Berlin for the last 3 days. We're going to be going until Friday as well, to kind of bring this initial phase of the project to a close and decide on what the next steps for the project as a whole will be.